Awaken to hair growth. Awaken to hair growth because there is possibility to get your hair back. Awaken to hair growth because we're not told that we're able to conquer and overcome alopecia. Awaken to hair growth because I want to be a positive light and beacon for you because I've healed my alopecia and now I help others do the same with different types of alopecia, men, women, children of all ages, of all races and ethnicities.
What I really want to understand, honestly, is where were you before you met me? Like, when did this happen? What did the doctors in Norway tell you? You know, because I'm assuming they told you the same thing that they told me in the Netherlands, but I want to hear it from you first and your experience and how this started, and then we can get into the program.
Yeah, it was. I found you rather soon, luckily. So I have been already with 2 doctors because in July my hairdressers, like you, found a spot, but we didn't take it seriously. And before that, I was very stressed because I had this punch on my chest for months. And I felt like, and I did faint at work. And 5 days later in September, I found a lot of spots in my hair. I didn't see it because it was in the back, a big one, like 7 centimeters.
Wow.
Backhead. And I got in shock again because at that time the pressure in my chest was not there anymore. But it came back instantly. I really became really afraid. And went to the doctor, and they said, "This is alopecia. It may come back, it may not, and if it come back, it will maybe come back later." And all this, you said the cortisone shots and all that. That's it. They don't have anything else. And I read about a new medication that they are launching. Have you heard it?
Yeah, Luminant, something like this. Yeah.
Yes,
I might be saying it wrong.
It doesn't matter. But it's not in Norway anyway. I just tried to Google it. And when I found you, I was so happy. And I've done everything you told me. So,
how soon in the program did you start to see hair growth?
In fact, a little bit before, a little bit in the big spots. But later I got a few new ones in the process. Not after, I don't think after we started the program. Because I didn't find everything at once. I didn't like to search my scope. I didn't like what I found. So in the big one, I thought it was a little bit down. But later, I think I have 2 small spots left that's not grown into.
So out of all the spots, they all got covered up. They all grew hair back.
Yeah, except for 2, but I think they're coming. Well, at least 1. It's by the hairline. I think those are sometimes resistant.
Yeah, it's a process. It's a process, definitely. Not all of them grow in all at the same time. And you have 2 small spots left. So those will definitely come back in as you continue to be consistent, right? With all the learnings and all the practices that you have. How are you feeling today compared to when you first started the program?
At once I felt very good, but I've been sick for 4 weeks, so it's not so easy. 3 weeks.
What did you have? Did you have a cold?
I have a cold, yes, but I didn't take. And then I become afraid because it's an infection, which can cause even more hair loss.
Yeah, it's going around. The cold is definitely going around. I caught it myself too here in Japan.
Yes, and I read somewhere that the infection can do something with your hair, of course. But I don't think so this time because I feel I lost a lot of hair because of the stress of finding out I had alopecia. That was all over, the usual stress to lose hair,
Yeah.
So my hair is, I think I've lost half my hair, mostly all over because of stress and also the spots. But the spots are growing back, seems to, nearly all of them, and the rest of the hair also, because I can feel down a lot of it all over.
That's wonderful. And you continue to do everything that you've been learning in the program?
But I think my body was really, what would you call it, burned out through years. So this is 3.5 months in, and I think I will maybe use a little bit more time before the energy really comes back and my body can integrate everything.
So in 3.5 months, you recuperated more than 90% of all the bald spots that you had in your head.
Yeah. I had
Wow.
one very small one in the neck, very small. And I had one over the ear, and it's coming, but it's going this one is very slow.
Slow.
Very
What
slow.
what does your doctor say? What does your hairstylist say?
My hairstylist scared me because he was, he's young.
Mm.
Like she was going to get it from me.
Oh.
So that didn't feel very good. But I'm going to tomorrow. I have a new one as well. So, but she said she's growing very good back, and I didn't like to go to the hairdressers the first time because I felt naked in a way. And this big spot on my back head was really big and white, and I can see it through my hair. It's traumatic. You can say it's just hair, but it's not just hair. It's identity, and it's everybody sees this. So and the doctor, they can't really help you, and they say, like you say, they just come with a cortisone treatment.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work. At least you had options for cortisone treatments. In the Netherlands, they had nothing for me. Nothing. This is why I left. Yeah, I went out to the US to see if there was something there, because it was just, they kept saying my ponytail was too tight. And I was like, it's not my ponytail. I don't wear ponytails. I wear clips. You know what I mean? I wear clips.
And all your nice hair.
It's a little messy right now.
Oh,
but wow, Ingrid, this is so amazing. So in 3.5 months, everything is essentially almost back to normal. That's a beautiful thing. That's so beautiful. And I think the key takeaway here is that, you don't know what your body is capable of until you actually learn how to truly support it. I had a call yesterday with a client. She's in the program right now. She just started January 1st. So she's 2 weeks in. She's a vegan. She has scarring alopecia, frontal fibrosing. And she was explaining to us and the group call that she would essentially have like 2 inches of baldness going back from her forehead, from her natural forehead. And this is something that, according to doctors, nothing can be done. So she decided to do the program, and she's already seen hair growth. There's already hair growth. I know, it's amazing. And it's scarring alopecia. This is, there's different types of alopecia. Scarring alopecia is seen as kind of the worst type of alopecia. It's all bad. I think all hair loss is bad, but scarring has that reputation of nothing can be done. There's just no hope. And here we have somebody who's been diagnosed with us, who does the program, and in 2 weeks, she's already seen hair growth. It's astonishing. It really is.
Life changing. It's just.
It is life changing, but it is growing, and you are healing. And I think the more that we start to create more self-love, more self-care, more self-awareness, then we're able to stop the traction of going towards more hair loss. And a lot of times we don't even know what we're doing wrong. And this is where the blind spots come in, right? We don't even know what we're doing wrong. We don't know what we're doing is right or wrong. And I actually have a functional medicine doctor in my program right now. I have a dietitian in my program right now, and they're surprised at everything I'm telling them, what's right and what's wrong. And, they follow it, and, they're seeing results, but it's difficult, I think, for anybody and everybody, because we think we're healthy. We think we're doing things right, and we're not. And we have to learn the hard way.
A very, very hard way. And I was also with a neuroflexologist. Yeah.
A reflexologist? Uh-huh.
Yes. Before this, because of this pressure in my chest, and they said your whole body is in attack mode constantly.
Yeah.
And we had to go to the vagus nerve and try to calm it down and everything. And this works a little bit also, but you have to work with your mind, of course.
The mind is so powerful. Yes. Yeah. The mind is very powerful.
It's very, so you have to change everything. I have to listen to myself and love myself, because I didn't do any of this. self-love is the worst. I can't. I really have to work with it. Really, really, really. And also listen to, I just do the work. Don't listen. Is it okay today? Am I tired? No, just do it. Do it. Everything on routines, till you go collapse. And but I went to her again this autumn after I started the program, and I said, "No, I have alopecia too." And she says, "Like you, but this is connected in some way."
It is.
Attack mode, and she had that before summer. Had one with scarred alopecia, lost all her hair in 2 weeks. 24 years old.
Wow.
And she had tried something with her. It was to stimulate the lymph system and also calming the nerve system. And she got all her hair back. And she just, for information, it was, and she had, the doctor said, you will never see a hair.
This is where I love proving doctors wrong, because
Yeah.
a lot of times they speak like they're the ultimate authority or in power, and yet so many of them are mistaken. I don't know if you know this, but in the United States, one of the top 3 causes of death of Americans is medical mistakes. And this could be medical mistakes from doctors, from nurses, or from anyone else who's taking care of you in the hospital, or, maybe they gave you the wrong surgery or the wrong medication or the wrong treatment, period. And medical mistakes is one of the top 3 causes of death in the US. And it mind boggles me how so many of them discard diet and lifestyle, say that it's not going to help. They discard, what the body is really capable of. They discard nutrition. They discard, so many things that are natural, innate to our body, that, if you really know how to put this together, you're supporting your body versus just giving it medications. Medications is not always the answer. There's a time and a place for it, but for alopecia, it's not the answer. And, you've proven that.
Yeah, and I stopped all my allergy meds.
You stopped all your allergy meds?
Yes, gone.
Done. So you have no more allergies? No, nothing. I love that. That's
It seems like
amazing.
it. Yes. So that's
You're allergic to doctors.
You don't see the whole picture, so I don't trust them anymore like I did before.
I take what they say with a grain of salt as well. I always ask more questions.
But you have to work with the body, not against it, and not medicate it, and not. You have to find a source, and that's what you're doing too. So I'm so happy for you, really, and I trust you so much. So and I'm so happy to see everything going back, and but I'm always this anxiety because it may come back. That's the worst right now. I think I feel a little bit vulnerable.
What I would say to that is that this is where your control comes in. You have the control over how you live, who you bring into your life, who you take out of your life, what you read, what you listen to, who you speak to. You have so much control of yourself. And, when you have control, you're able to determine what affects you. Everything needs to be back to normal. The brain fog, the achiness, the energy levels, the excitement for life, the confidence in yourself, the 100% belief that you got this, that you're empowered, not just with the knowledge, but with the actions, with the habits, with everything else, with how you're living your life. Like, you have a full control. You really do. And I hope this is the biggest takeaway for everyone. Not just the hair growth, but the biggest takeaway is, like, we all have a gene and genetics can lead us to alopecia, but it could also heal and reverse, and it can do so in a controlled way. This is why after more than 8 years of having alopecia, I got COVID, no hair loss. I had postpartum, after having birth, no hair loss. Like, you can control these things to mitigate the hair loss. You don't have to see this. I have so many clients who say they just got the injection for COVID, and yet they had so much hair loss. I got COVID, no hair loss. This is not luck.
You're stable right now.
Well, I control myself. And so if I know that something's not working, if I know something is off balance, this is what it is. It's a balance, right? You're on the bicycle. You have to balance to keep going forward. That's what that is. It's a balancing act. Life is a balancing act. It really is.
And also, as you said, you need to trust this. Trust that you got it. Trust that it's going to be okay. Not be. I always been the kind who said, I have the worst case scenario in my head. Okay, it's good today, but it can be worse tomorrow. You know, this kind. I have tried to turn this around and just think, I'm so happy if I'm good today. No panic, no nothing. No, I'm calm. And tomorrow is tomorrow. But I take one day at a time, and I try to stay positive and take the best because it's the best for my body. I think that's healing in itself, to just believe and be positive instead of guard yourself for the worst case all the time. And
well, if you think about it too, you know, I got the alopecia the first time ever. I was in my 30s. And is this the first time you got alopecia?
Yes, and I'm 56. Yes.
So this is the first time ever that you ever got it. And so if we start to self-evaluate and self-analyze, you start to ask yourself, why did I get it? You obviously know your root causes. I know my root causes. And I know, you know, even the way I was brought up and raised and the way I lived my life in my teenage years and in my 20s, I was doing many mistakes that were not healthy, that were not promoting self-love or self-care. And then in my 30s, it hit a tipping point. And when that tipping point happens, change needs to happen for this not to happen again. And you're very aware of this, and so am I. And most people are too. Most people have that compassion, right? And the grace to say, okay, this is how I've been living my life. This is why this happened, but it's teaching me something. And now I can move forward. I can move forward, empowered, educated, with the knowledge so that this doesn't happen again. It's like, you know, learning why you failed a test or learning why you need to do the exam again. This is a test in life to make sure that we don't go through this again.
Yeah, and also the life quality is so much better because now I'm listening to myself, to my body, to my head, I search for calmness and for self-love and happiness because I don't have this happy feeling, never, you know. I'm not happy. I can't get out the happy feeling. So I just have to wait to see if it comes. But I'm working every day to find it and to connect with myself because I have to do that first, 100%, I think, because I can find.
For things, or you're looking for happiness. Is this what I'm understanding?
Yeah, I'm not happiness like that, just the feeling of happy, alive, feel a little bit alive, you know. It's flat. It's been flat for years. I also am happy because this happened, because I'm doing all these changes for my best of the rest of my life. So
the practice of being happy, from what I understand, is that we create it within us. No one can make us happy.
Now you have to find it yourself. Yes.
You have to choose to be happy, just like we can choose to, you know, choose what we eat. We choose to be happy and to be content. And a lot of this stems back to being grateful. You know, what are you grateful for? And I think for women especially, we are groomed to give and give and give and give. We're placed in this position to give to everybody but ourselves, including our children, loved ones, family members, friends, community, etc., work. Everybody. And I actually feel, honestly, that the statistics around autoimmune diseases, where 80% fall on women versus men, is because we give too much. And I say this too much because it's always too much. We never give enough to ourselves. It's always to everybody else.
Yeah, to start from scratch. It's just, but it's fun. It's good. In so many days, I just I'm not happy because my hair fell off, but the consequences of it, I think, will give me a better life. Totally. Yeah, it's life-changing with this program that you have.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. And I'm so happy to be able to listen to your story and understand and see how the impact has been for you, for your life. And that's probably the fun part, is to uncover what makes you happy, what brings you joy, and to gravitate and move towards that.
Yeah, I think that's a journey. It's a good one, and it gives hope for the quality of life from here on. So
yes, but definitely being aware of what makes you happy is key, because then you can give yourself more of it, and then you can start compromising and then putting boundaries And I think boundaries are very important. And maybe as you go through your journey, you will start to see where boundaries with family, with caretakers, friends, etc., start to happen because your needs are so important. And if there's anything that we could take away from this, it's to put ourselves first is not selfish. It's actually enables us to be a better person for everybody else. We're all worthy of all the things we want in life and more. It's not just the dream of, accomplishing and doing and achieving, but also it's the little things too that bring happiness, that bring joy on a daily, consistent basis. And, whether it's buying yourself flowers instead of waiting for someone to give them to you, these little things that create more joy, right? It's everything.
It's everything. And I do like to have this diary, and I will every day write down 5 things that I'm grateful for. And that's because you said something about it. And it integrates in another way when you write it down. And every evening I have this little prayer for myself where I'm so thankful for. I'm just thankful because I was stressed today or in panic or because of the people I have around me and my work and everything. I'm so grateful for so many things. So that helps too.
Oh, yeah. Gratitude is huge. And it is. And also staying in the now. There's a book that I recommend, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Have you read it?
Yeah, I didn't read this book, but I know very well about him. So Eckhart Tolle,
he's amazing.
He's amazing. He's amazing. And I do this 5 Tibetan rites every morning. So rituals.
Yeah, the 5 rituals. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Is there anything else that you'd like to share or anything else that you'd like to say?
No, only that I'm so grateful to you, Johanna, and that you take the time right now also and do so much good for everybody. And I just feel that as long as you're there, I feel safe in a way. Just a very good feeling.
Oh, I'm here for you. Anytime you need me, I'm here for you. And I'm so happy to have received your emails and to have you in the program, but then also to see your success in 3.5 months. I mean, this was the idea behind Alopecia Angel. What took me 4 years can take people 2 months and 3 months to heal and be done with this, because you started the program at the end of last year, 2022. We're in January of 2023. And now you have like the rest of 2023 to not even have to worry about this and to start planning your vacations, to start understanding like what makes you happy and go for it. And, start implementing more self-care. And this is a beautiful thing. It's a year about you, Ingrid. It's a year about happiness, joy, and fulfilling everything else, because going through alopecia definitely is traumatic and definitely taught you and me something, and you can overcome anything, including this.
I will, and I trust this now because you say it, and I trust you, and I do what you tell me. So, and I work with myself. That only I can do. Of course, the inside work, but I believe that it will stay away also with this program, and I can try to don't think about the hair every day, but other things like you said now, but about planning my life, look forward to other stuff, not only the hair all the time.
You can't put off things that you would think, oh, I'm going to go visit Norway in 5 years or, in 10 years. Like, you have to do it now. Now is the time we have. Now is the only time. If you want your hair, do it now. If you want, things that bring you joy and make you happy, do it now. If you want, don't put it off. I think when people put things off thinking they have so much time in their life, when we really don't. I think it's so beautiful that, at any point in our lives, we're able to heal if we want. And you chose to heal, and you chose to do so with me. And so I'm honored, and I am grateful for you as well. And I absolutely love what I do because I get to be in contact with people such as yourself who want to heal, who are open to change, who are open to a new idea, and, who challenge me too. I have clients who question me and challenge, and it's because there's so much misinformation. I understand there's so much misinformation, but hopefully, everyone gets the right information, and then they can make the best decisions for themselves moving forward.
And the results tell they are.
Oh yeah, the proof is there. 100%. The proof is there. Yeah, for sure. It's here. For sure.
A beautiful proof. You're so beautiful.
The proof is here. Thank you.
We're so grateful for all you do for us, and you use so much energy on this.
And I couldn't do this if I didn't have to suffer and go through it myself. And I think this is a special attribute because I can connect with you and I can connect with everyone else because I've been in your shoes. I've gone through the trauma and I'm on the other side. It's like being able to, see someone drowning, be able to do CPR and then bring them back to life. In a way, I feel like I do this. And
you do that. And you really.
And I love it. I absolutely love it. I never thought I would be doing this, but I absolutely love it. I love what I do. I love talking to people all around the world. I love helping them and seeing that there's a way, even if their doctors or the healthcare system doesn't allow for it. It's always possible. It's always possible. It always just takes somebody to question, somebody to do things differently.
Oh, I also think about all the energy you have because you do so much for us and for everybody, and you have this very hectic life and family and everything, and travels and have seminars, and I'm in age.
Oh, no. And, I think it was a good thing that I got alopecia before I got married and before I had children, because I can see now as a parent, as someone who's married, who has, responsibilities outside of just being single, it would have been so much more difficult, almost impossible, because the time is limited. But when you're single, you have all the time in the world for yourself. And in a way, I, like you, was giving my time to everybody, to friends, to going out, to traveling, to family, to this, to that, to work. I gave so much time to work. Working 80 hours just became normal for me. Weekends on end, it was awful, absolutely awful. I gave a lot of my life away to work. And, it didn't really show for it in essence until, of course, alopecia came. But again, I'm happy that I did get alopecia when I was single because, again, I had the time to dedicate it to myself. And I had to say no to everything else, including friends, family, and almost my fiance at the time, which is now my husband, because it is time consuming. This is not easy. This was 4 years nonstop. I made it my job. And I actually have a podcast episode about dating with alopecia. And the real ones, yes. Exactly. The real ones who love you are going to love you regardless. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm happy to do this. The more I can share success stories, the more I can share hope and light and positivity in terms of alopecia, the better, not just the world, but everybody else going through it. Because one thing is for me to put my face out there, but then they're like, okay, yeah. We want to see more people.
This has for me been a success. And despite of my body's not yet healed, the hair is coming. So due to your
step
program.
by step.
Step by step. So
step by step. You got this. And I wish you nothing but the best. Lots of love, light, health, happiness for 2023 and beyond. Thank you so much again for your time. But please keep in touch and keep me updated on, how things progress, how things go, and, the next Ingrid. The next Ingrid.
Thank you. Same to you, Jana.
All the best.
Thank you for listening to the Alopecia Angel Podcast, a positive light in healing alopecia. You can do this and we can help. Spread the word that reversing alopecia is possible by telling your friends and family.